I wasn't supposed to be in the funding world at all. I was playing piano, traveling, performing around the world, and then one conversation changed everything. Before I ever stepped into the world of funding, my life had already taken me across the globe. Right out of high school and college, I was performing internationally, working with groups like the Drifters, the Platters, the Beach Boys, and the Belmonts, traveling, playing in major venues, constantly moving. I spent time in New York City, developing, learning, being around high-level performers, and serious musicianship. I remember going to The Tonight Show, watching legends warm up, being around that level of excellence. So I wasn't coming from nowhere. I had already been in rooms where excellence was the standard. And I say all of that because every one of those experiences led me to a moment I never could have planned. An opportunity came up to go to Hong Kong, and that's where everything changed. I was performing at the Peninsula Hotel in Hong Kong, and over time, I met a banker from New York. We connected. Music, conversation, just natural interaction. And after a while, he invited me to something I didn't expect. He was getting married in Bali and asked me to be his best man. So I flew out, stayed there, and after the wedding, he asked me a question that changed my life. He said, "Would you want to work with me on funding projects?" And just like that, I stepped into a completely different world. I remember one day, I had just arrived in a new country for a performance contract. I was sitting in a coffee shop. Nice day, minding my own business. A guy walks over, sits down. We start talking. I mentioned I was connected to funding through Hong Kong, and everything shifted. He told me about a well-known figure trying to build an automated medical facility, producing things like gauze, syringes, gloves, things they couldn't easily import. So we set up a meeting. I went to his home, and you could tell immediately this was serious. This wasn't theory. This was real. We were preparing to help him secure the capital. And then something interesting happened. The bank found out about the deal, and instead of saying no, they stepped in and funded it themselves. That's when I started to understand capital doesn't move the way most people think it does. Around that same time, I met a contractor from Europe who had worked on building a hotel. They were close to finishing, just a couple of floors away from completion, but they didn't have the capital to finish the job. And without finishing it, they wouldn't get paid. Everything was on the line. That's when I learned more about what they call a bridge loan, short-term capital used to get a project across the finish line. We're talking millions just to complete the final stages, and that's when it really clicked for me. Funding isn't just about money, it's about timing. And if the timing is off, everything can fall apart. And that's how you end up getting the big books, not by chasing money, but by understanding where it needs to go. Coming back to Las Vegas, I was returning to my roots. I'd spent years performing there, working with MGM for about 8 years, and performing in many of the major hotels along the Strip. And not long after I got back, I ran into someone I already knew, an old friend and business connection. We started talking, reconnecting, and before long, we were putting together a concept for a television show. We even began working with different acts, building something that had real potential. I still have some of that footage today. It felt like things were coming together again, just in a different direction. Everything was lining up. And then COVID hit. Everything stopped. I had to come back to the United States and leave my partner overseas. It wasn't just one path that stopped. It was multiple opportunities all at once. And just like that, everything shifted. But here's the thing. Everything I'd experienced didn't disappear. The relationships, the exposure, the understanding of how capital really moves, it all came with me. So when I got back to Las Vegas, I didn't start from zero. I took everything I had seen, everything I had learned, and built my own funding operation. And today, when I talk to business owners trying to figure out how to move forward, I'm not guessing. I've seen how this works in different countries, different situations, different levels. So if you've ever found yourself stuck, needing capital, or just trying to understand your options, reach out. I'll at least point you in the right direction.